Hey Spectrum, Arik and Natalie here for the noise this week.
Let's dive right into announcements.
This year, Emmanuel Christian Center is providing a free Thanksgiving meal to the first 30 families who request it. Meals will be delivered to school on the 22nd for pickup.
If you're interested, check your email for a Google form or contact a school counselor.
That's our only announcements for this week. Natalie, you did such a great job with that announcement.
No, Arik, you did great. You're such a good anchor.
You too. But did you know that there are a lot more roles in broadcast journalism that are essential to getting shows produced?
Yes, Arik, I'm in broadcast journalism, but I'm sure our audience would love to see more about behind the scenes. Take it away, Amelia and JD.
Hello, Spectrum. Broadcast journalism is a class where you can learn how to film and produce news media. There is a lot of different roles and responsibilities that all play a very important part in producing a show. The first thing we have to do for making a show is set up. The setup crew are people that set up and make sure everything is in working condition. They set up the lights, the camera, and even the table. You just can't have a show without producers. They are the people that run the show and keep everything in working order. This year's producers are Isaac and Layla. They have been very helpful in making the show a success. I'm sure you know them by now, the anchors, Natalie and Arik. They read off the news that you need to know week by week and make sure everything is delivered perfectly, giving us funny moments in between. Another big thing to get this show started is you have to have camera and sound operators. If you don't, who's going to film it? The camera operator for this year is Kaylana. She films and makes sure that everything is centered. Tim makes sure that the sound is working and that it's clear. Other roles that mean more to broadcasting than what they may seem is our social media operator, the special news team, the street team, and our website designer. They all are very, very important to us. It helps us to get our word out to people about Noise News. Behind the scene, there are more roles than what you think. But you can't have roles or a class without a teacher. Miss Kress is the broadcast journalism teacher. She teaches us everything we need to know in order to have a working show. We could not have done anything without her. In the end, broadcast is one big family. We support each other with what we do, and we have a lot of fun with it. From dancing to making wonderful, memorable shows. We do it all, becoming closer every day. This has been Amelia and JD, Noise News.
Thanks, Street Team. Those anchors look like they're pretty good at their job.
Right. You know who else is good at their jobs? Teachers.
Totally. I think we've got a couple new ones this year, including Mr. Chokowski.
Hey, Aaron and Connor put together a story on him. Let's hand it off to them.
New school years bring new faces, and Mr. Jokowski is one of them. Previously a sub, Mr. Jokowski decided to pursue a further career in high school history. Mr. Jokowski used to sub at Elk River High School, but moved to Spectrum this year, and we asked him why.
When I was student teaching, I student taught at Elk River High School, and I really enjoyed my time at Elk River. It's pretty cool to come back to the same city. And also before I came to Spectrum, I was a substitute teacher, went to elementary schools, middle schools, so that's also cool to be finally teaching my own subject of history every single day.
Whether it's U.S. history, European history, or even world history, it's very important to know and learn, especially in today's society, as history is being made every day, not only in America, but in many places all over the earth.
I wanted to teach history. It's always been my favorite subject growing up. I had a history teacher in high school that really inspired me. He's a really fun teacher, taught me many things about life skills and just other things to do with history. And I also feel like history is really important to know because it's nice to know about things from the past and how they affect today's society.
Change can be good or bad. With being at different schools and not a Spectrum, we asked Mr. Jokowski what's different at Spectrum from his previous schools.
Spectrum is by far the smallest school that I've been to, and I think it makes it really nice for the small community feel. You get to know everybody really, really fast, which makes being a new person really easy. And then also, it's nice being in a different type of school, and I'm so used to subbing in elementary and middle school, so coming to a high school is definitely a newer kind of thing for me.
There are many ups and downs in becoming a teacher. So here's what Mr. Jokowski thinks the best and hardest things are about teaching.
The best part about teaching is you get to work with students every single day. You get to see them grow as a student. The hardest part about teaching, and maybe it's because I'm a newer teacher, but it's I would say, trying to come up with a variety of things for students to do in class. That way you're not doing notes every single day, but yeah.
It's always important to build good relationships with your students, but some teachers don't know how.
Build relationships with my students. I try and talk to them about things that are not school related, so I ask them about sports, ask them about clubs that they're involved in, other activities at Spectrum, and then also I like to talk about some of the things that I'm interested in. That way that spikes some conversations about Star Wars or stuff like that, and sports as well, but yeah.
We asked Mr. Jokowski what he thinks the most important thing a teacher should know or do.
I think the most important thing that teachers need to do is build positive relationships with their students. I think pretty much everything else kind of follows after that, so that's the first thing you need to do. And then, building positive relationships with your students, I think shows them that you care about them and that, you're interested in their education.
Although some teachers may or may not talk about their life outside of school, it's always good to know about their outside life so you can make connections and build better relationships with your teachers. So lastly, we asked Mr. Jokowski what he does when he's not at school or grading work.
Some of the things that I like to do when I'm at home is I like to watch hockey a lot, as well as other sports too, but mostly hockey. I like to watch Star Wars, movies, TV shows, and I like to play with my 2-year-old niece. She's a lot of fun right now. She's learning so many new words because she's at that age, and sometimes I mess with her and I teach her words, quotes from movies, or say, hey, say this Star Wars name or something, and it's pretty cute.
All kids get scared and nervous when they are in new places around new people. Even adults can get like that too. So it's always important to make people feel comfortable, especially at Spectrum where everyone is welcome. This has been Aaron Amariba and Connor Johnson.
What is this stuff?
Great story, team. I love learning more about our teachers.
Well, I love learning about sports. So let's shift it over to Ethan with our sports segment for this week.
Hey Spectrum, this is Ethan with the sports. We have a short schedule for sports this week. Congratulations to the football team for having a great season. They made it to section finals, a huge achievement on its own. While they will not be going into state, they still had an amazing season. Yesterday was the first day of the Winter Running Club. Lastly, there's also basketball tryouts this past week. Good luck to all our winter teams, and go Sting. That's all the sports for this week. This has been Ethan. Back to you, Natalie and Arik.
Thanks, Ethan.
Yeah, that sports segment was really something special.
You're right, Natalie. You know what else is special? Our favorite, Special News Team segment.
Let's kick it off to them.
Hello, Spectrum, and welcome back to The Game Show. Today I'm joined by Noise News' own producer, Layla, and we're doing a game show themed around The Game Show. What is The Game Show?
The Game Show is a special news segment made by Ben, Cooley, and Ellie. And it's mostly just a bunch of questions with a bunch of participants. And it's pretty funny, so you guys should definitely tune in on Noise News so you can see them. So, yeah.
Great answer. So how often will the game show be airing on Noise News?
The game show will be airing bi-weekly on Noise News.
I guess that's correct. We'll be airing bi-weekly. I am now going to be joined by Director Timothy Erickson for this next question. Tim, would you like to come on?
Yeah. No applause. What is?
Introduce yourself real quick.
I'm Timothy, Technical Director of Noise News. I'm the reason this microphone works. I'm kind of a big shot around here. So Layla, last thing I need to ask you, genuine question for your prize of water. What is the paid Apple editing software called?
I have no idea.
I guess she will go dehydrated. That face when no water. The answer is Final Cut Pro X. That's just the type of thing you're gonna get from a guy like me.
Thanks to Big Shot Jerome with the Erickson. Yes. All right, your next question. Can you catch water?
Yes, I can.
Congratulations. You have earned 1 water bottle.
Thank you so much.
Spend it wisely.
I'm so grateful for this opportunity. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, special news team. And with that, we're all out of news for you guys. This has been Natalie,
And Arik.
keeping you in on the noise. Hey, did you study for that chemistry test?
I'm more worried about where this popped up.
Last week on Tuesday, the Spectrum Bingo Bandits made it to Nationals after defeating the Shady Oaks Senior Living Bingo team. Also last week, our competitive Frisbee team defeated the Frizzers 17,000 to 8. This week, on Wednesday, our professional painting team is going head-to-head with Picasso in a paint-off on a comically large canvas. Finally, on Friday, the professional T-ball team made it to the International Championships after defeating the ABC Celebration Preschool A team. That's all for the sports.
Hey! How dare you forget about the Spectrum Cribbage team, the Cribbers.
We have a
We're
cribbage.
going to nationals, bro.
We have a cribbage team?
Since when do we not have a cribbage team?
I don't know.
Just cut the segment. Just.
Are you still recording right now? I have a message for everybody who's watches these shows. I appreciate you. I know that some of you are being forced
Natalie, the mic's way over
but
there.
I don't care. I don't care.
We're here for you at Noise News. We will